Welcome to Jennifer Parsley Wellness. Today is day 38 on my journey to release 30 pounds in the first 3 months of 2023. I am almost 10 pounds down and still staying highly motivated and strong. Today I am going to talk about neuroplasticity and rewiring the brain, rewiring the pathways in the brain to meet the goals that you want to meet in your life, and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in your life. The brain is more moldable than you would necessarily think it is. Really cool topic, inspired by The Reality Revolution by Brian Scott. And I have so many things in here to share with y'all that are pertinent to meeting your health goals, meeting your life goals. And yeah, we'll get into one of those. But I'm going to try to quickly give you a rundown of my food and exercise today. I am clean fasting all day, drinking some green and nettle tea right here, and going to take some chicory root, roasted chicory root with me. I have a massage client later this evening. And yeah, clean fasting, just water, herbal tea, green tea is all I have. And my one big meal this evening is going to be plant-based, fully plant-based, healthy, no oil, whole food, but it's going to be biscuits and gravy and greens. A very southern dinner tonight. And for dessert, I'm going to have some leftover berry crumble topped with a totally healthy plant-based vanilla nice cream that I made in my homemade ice cream maker today. The batter was an oat and erythritol sweetener, sugar-free. All my desserts are sugar-free right now. Oats, sweetener, and what else? Oh, a little bit of homemade yogurt, soy milk, vanilla. Just a homemade, healthy, plant-based vanilla ice cream to top my berry crumble this evening. I think I'll heat up my crumble so the ice cream melts a little bit. If you want to see pictures of everything I'm eating and descriptions, go to Jennifer Parsley Wellness on Instagram and Facebook. That's my food for today. Biscuits, gravy, greens, berry crumble, and vanilla and ice cream. It's like I'm creating these healthy Julie Protective Diet. The link is under all of these videos, are where these fabulous healthy recipes come from. I do have the paid version of the plan, but get started with the free recipes. See if you like her recipes. We love them so much. We've been eating them for like a decade and they make us feel fabulous. Exercise today, I'm going to go on a dog walk this afternoon before I go in for my massage client. So taking Riley out. It's a beautiful day here in Charlotte. It's like sunny and almost 70. So we'll probably go for a little longer walk, maybe 30-minute dog walk this afternoon. After I do some cooking, I'm going to cook everything. So Simon's got to go down to City Council today. His company's building this beautiful new R&D center in the city of Charlotte, and they're working with the community. So he's going to be home later. I'm going to be home later. I'm going to get it all cooked and ready to just pop into the toaster oven or the oven whenever we both get home. And the beautiful thing about fasting and just eating one meal a day is it doesn't matter if we don't get to dinner until 8 o'clock tonight. That just means I've had an extra hour or more of burning body fat. That's what happens when I'm just clean fasting, having my water and tea, staying hydrated, and don't get to that meal till a bit later. Then my body is burning off my fat, and I will take that for sure. All right, let's get into the topic of neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain. And this also links up with working with the subconscious. The psych-k work that I do with clients is all about reprogramming the subconscious, working with subconscious beliefs, because the subconscious controls 95% of what we do. It's so important, and it's usually programmed by the time we're about 7, and also programmed by repetition and by traumatic things in our lives. In the subconscious is that reptilian brain that is trying to keep us safe, trying to keep us alive, and it's making decisions based on that, on old programs, old fears, concerns, worries. That's really what the subconscious is normally working off of, unless you go in and put more positive beliefs and work with the subconscious a bit more so that you get better outcomes in your life. This topic is very closely related to that. And then I'm also going to talk about how it is related to chronic pain, TMS, which I've mentioned in some other videos, which is work that I was doing like 4 years ago. And I have no idea. Maybe it was because I felt so good, completely healed my back pain, that I just kind of stopped doing that work. But no, I'm bringing that back into my work. It is all part of wellness, Jennifer Parsley Wellness. I am all about natural health, natural healing, being able to live our lives free of pain, free of disease, taking control of our own health, and this whole mind-body, biopsychosocial way of seeing chronic pain, autoimmune, all sorts of different conditions is totally related to wellness and living your life in just a happy, healthy way. I mean, there's so many people who are suffering from chronic pain and disease, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cancers, all sorts of things that I believe what I call the Western medical establishment doesn't do a great job of actually getting to the root cause and healing. They diagnose, they deal with symptoms, they prescribe medications, they're medical doctors, which can be very helpful for a lot of things. But there are also tons of people sort of left out there in the cold, and that is the type of work and research and information and coaching and, videos and sharing that I do for people. Is there are other options. There are wonderful healing options out there. All right, I just love that topic. I could go on forever. Page 139 of the Reality Revolution. Neuroplasticity, the idea that the brain shifts and changes like a computer that can rewire itself, is a miracle. Whatever chemicals are being released, however your brain is functioning now, you can use thoughts to actively change its shape, structure, and function. And this is proven scientifically. I'm sure most people have heard about neuroplasticity by now, how we can rewire the pathways with our thoughts, with our intentions, with work like psych-k. And when he talks about whatever chemicals are being released or however your brain is functioning now, that links right in with the chronic pain and the stress and the anxiety that so many people are suffering with, is when we're releasing cortisol and stress hormones and adrenaline and epinephrine and all of those that are coming from the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight nervous system, where most people are operating most of their days, and we never get enough of the parasympathetic rest, relax, restore. Those brain chemicals are flooding our body, and those lead to pain and disease and not great things in our body when we don't have the time to rest, relax, restore, and release those wonderful healing brain chemicals, calming brain chemicals that are so good for us, oxytocin and other like wonderful brain chemicals. As we gain control over the subconscious, psych-k is one of the fastest ways to do that, y'all. As we gain control over the subconscious, we're no longer subject to its whims. The secret to success is often the ability to do the emotionally difficult thing, to have the willpower to do the thing you'd rather not do. Create a different pathway in the brain. Go make a different decision than you're normally used to. The same repetitive patterns, reflexes, instincts that subconscious is operating your life 95% of the time. So have the willpower to do the thing you'd rather not do. So forgo $100 now for $500 later. Yet most of us remain subject to our subconscious impulses, the old patterns that are just operating on repeat. Most of us will choose immediate gratification, and this is so totally linked to health, diet, disease, weight loss, immediate gratification. Of course, do I want a piece of the red velvet cake from the bakery at the end of my street that is one of the best bakeries in Charlotte? Oh, yeah. If I could have that every day with no repercussions, great. Would I go to the pub like every single day and have beers with my husband? And probably, like, food and alcohol have been my numbing agents of choice most of my life. But it's not healthy for me. It doesn't get me to the weight that I want to be at in my 50s. And it makes me sleep terribly now. And that's why I'm making a different decision. I am choosing a different pathway in my brain because I am using my prefrontal cortex, my logical thinking brain, ideas, concepts, this wonderful high thinking part of the brain to set the course for where I want to go, to overcome these programs from my reptile brain, my little, the limbic area of the brain. So most of us remain subject to our subconscious impulses. Most of us will choose immediate gratification. Meanwhile, highly successful people are maneuvering through incredible realities because they have a sense of control. They do difficult tasks now that set them up for a future success. They face the emotional difficulties and actively shape their minds towards better health, meaningful friendships, deeper love, profound happiness, and greater prosperity. All of these areas of life. In psych-k, when I work with clients in psych-k, we have what we call the 7 categories of change, and they practically match right up with this: health, relationships, self-esteem, personal power, greater prosperity, prosperity and abundance. These are the areas, key areas, where people struggle in their lives and they want to see change in their lives. Health is closely related to this journey that I'm on right now, but it's deeper than that as well. It's, achieving the things that I want in my life: personal power, self-esteem, wanting to feel good and achieve my goals in life. So facing emotional difficulties, actively shaping our minds, doing the difficult thing now to ensure future success. So this gets into that concept of immediate gratification versus delayed gratification. Tons of studies have been done on, highly successful people are willing to have some delayed gratification in their life. Or highly successful investors, people who from the minute they get a job where they have a 401k, start socking away whatever you can sock away, versus, I'll get to that in a few years. And if you put it away and you never see it in your paycheck, that grows to millions of dollars, or like $1 million, or plenty enough for retirement. If we can work with that delayed gratification, the time value of money is a great example of it. But then working with our emotions and working with the subconscious to achieve these things that we want in our life, it's totally possible. The brain neuroplasticity, just because we have one sort of worn out pattern. Like Dr. McDougall loves to talk about most that our weight and our health and conditions are not genetic. What's genetic is not even genetic, but what it is passed down habits, eating habits, food habits of our family, our culture, our ancestors, and that we can turn it around at any point that we want to turn it around. There are very, very few truly genetic disorders. Most things we can turn the genes on or off with the choices that we make in our life. And you see it every day. Success stories. Go to drmcdougall.com. See people who were have reversed all sorts of health conditions, obesity being one of them. And it's making the decision that I'm going to do this work. I'm going to dig in. I'm going to get to what's the root here? What's going on here? What's going on in my brain that's causing me to want to come and raid all the snacks in the afternoon when I've had a stressful day and I'm eating everything snacky, quick, crunchy, sweet, going to the bakery way more times than I want to. But we have the power. We can change those neural pathways. And then it doesn't take that long. Like the 21 days to start a new habit, or getting into the morning routines, or different ways that people start the repetition of the new pattern. No, brain, we're not going over here. We're going to come over here now. And they talk about 21 days to start a habit. And literally anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days, you can totally reprogram your taste buds to have low fat foods, whole food, plant-based foods, taste really good and rich and creamy, like this ice cream that I'm going to have for dessert tonight. It's basically made from oats and some soy milk, but the way it's put together, and it looks beautiful, the presentation, we eat with our eyes, Julie says. It's gonna taste just as good to me as going and getting a treat from the bakery. And honestly, it'll taste better because I know when I eat that food that it's overly sweet. It's overly oily. Like I can almost taste that, what's in frosting from bakeries. They use like Crisco, not margarine, maybe possibly margarine, but like Crisco kind of stuff. I could taste that greasiness in the bakery things if I stop and think about it. And it's like it tastes really good while you're eating it for a few minutes, but then you don't feel good when I know for me, I don't feel good after I eat that kind of food. I don't sleep well. Same thing with too much alcohol. So I think you get the point here, is we can make the healthier decisions for whatever area of our life. Our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual well-being, our spiritual growth, relationships, self-esteem, whatever area of our life. If we set the intentions, we make the decisions, and we're going to make a change, the brain will adapt, the body will adapt. And I just think it's the coolest thing. Totally love brain science and getting into how the mind, when I say biopsychosocial, it's like our body, our mind, our society, our environment, our spiritual, some people are body, mind, spirit as well. It's all linked. It all impacts us. It's all energy that impacts us. And when we start taking charge of our mind and our emotions and our body and our environment and our spiritual growth, when we start taking charge of that, wow, we are capable of so much more than we ever thought possible. And I'm just totally like diving back into the TMS work, Dr. Sarno, all like back pain, chronic pain, autoimmune thing, like so many things. If we can make the connection between what's going on in our brain, that overactive amygdala, the overactive reptile brain that's sending overactive pain patterns, and we can make that connection and calm ourselves, people are curing themselves from miraculous things. I see this because I dive into this information all the time. I'm going to do a separate video about chronic pain, long-term, like chronic illnesses that are being turned around with our brain, our thoughts, those neural pathways. I'm going to do a separate video all about that. I found this wonderful infographic that I'll be able to talk you through. I'll do a video from Zoom where I can mainly have the infographic up and talk through, just get that basic understanding of interrupting that type of pain. So that'll be another video. I've gone on enough for this one. If you like these videos, if they're helpful for you on your path for whatever goals you're trying to reach in your life, feel free to give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see all the videos along this journey and then ongoing into 2023. All things wellness, that's what I love to help people with. Share resources, work with people if they're interested in that. It's like my passion in life is all things health, healing, wellness, whatever I discover to be my absolute healthiest as I move through my 50s and beyond. I want to have a healthy, vibrant life well past 100, I say. I don't want to limit myself. And I love sharing all this information with y'all. So subscribe if you're interested in this type of information. Feel free to put any comments or questions below. And I will talk to you again soon, friends.